Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Alienware Arena Week 7 EU matchup. I'm the FourCourtJester, flying solo today. Not entirely too sure why, but that's okay. We do have our game ready to roll, so thank you for your patience. But we do have with us today the Prophets versus Got the Feeling. And it will be Got the Feeling here on the left-hand side. So I should really say Got the Feeling versus the Prophets, but that's okay. So we're going to jump into the picks and bans. So guys, how's your League of Legends been this week? I see a whole bunch of you there in the chat ready to get this going. I know the Worlds have been very, very intense. I know I myself was up just 12 hours ago watching those semi-final matches. Very intense and very awesome games. That being said, I have to wonder, all these new comps, all these new strategies coming out of these top teams, how is it going to affect how the rest of us play League of Legends? It's always been somewhat of a meta shift after these amazingly big tournaments. For example, let's look at M5 coming out winning IEM Kiev earlier this year, virtually undefeated. I think they dropped maybe one map, and that was some huge Shyvana play, that was huge counter jungle, and that was huge Sona actually getting Sona nerfed that event. Since then, of course, we have seen a lot of other people pick up that meta. Counter jungling, now very common and very important if the games from yesterday were of any indication. And at the same time, again, a lot of people watch these. I think we had something like 500,000 concurrent summoners watching these finals, and that is just combined outside of China and Korea. I can only imagine the numbers in those two areas, but you know, people will pick up on this. I mean, we've seen some amazing things here in the Alienware Arena EU. We've seen some amazing Shen bans, because Shen, which is amazingly banned right now actually, is just a huge counter jungler. Those mana-less junglers can just get in, get out, and put up a big fight early on into the game, and that is nothing that you really want to deal with that early into the game. I mean, you just woke up, you literally just got into the game as was, and it's just like, ooh, you know, I gotta deal with this now. Alright, just sending a quick note off to the Alienware admins. But, you know, this game, what do we got for bans? Alistar, Maokai, Ezreal going to be coming out here for Got the Feeling. Alistar, not much of a counter jungler, but what a ganker, my goodness. Can definitely go a nice support with that support for the AD. Can definitely go into the jungle for some around behind headbutt pulverized combinations. So, you know, he is a hero that is really well known, well respected, and well loved, and majority of the time well banned, at least in EU. Maokai coming out again, another strong jungle presence. And again, Ezreal. Ezreal, a 95% played hero. If he's not played, he's banned, and if he's not banned, then why the hell did you not pick up Ezreal? That is the theme that Ezreal does do his dance to, because he's just an amazing hero, such long range, such mobility. Really am expecting a nerf out of him before Season 3, but I think they're just going to leave it as is for now. Ezreal, again, another huge pickup though in the Worlds. We saw yesterday CLG EU with a Sona Ezreal long-range poke lane, and that long-range poke lane did work, did it not? My goodness. Alright, bans coming out for the Prophets. Rengar, Shen, Diana, very powerful top laners. Rengar, Shen, and Diana are also all junglers, but you know, high sustain, high burst damage. Rengar especially, we've had to nerf the AP ratios on Rengar before because they are just absolutely ridiculous with that triple cast combo. It's just like, alright, here's 1,000 hit points, and I'm going to take that out of your hit points, because that's just, it just scales ridiculously well. Shen, a great counter jungler, as we saw, a great top lane as well, affords a lot of split pushing potential for your lanes, and that is something that, again, most people do not like to deal with. They like to have that solid 5v5. They don't want to deal with a 4 versus 1 split, because then you're just losing objectives left, right, and center. Diana, a nice AP burst. She can go mid, she can go top, she can go jungle. I haven't seen her support yet, but overall a very well-rounded character, and she became really powerful as soon as Rapid Star from Azubu Frost to recognize that he could just go mid and wreck anyone with it. So very solid bans from both teams. Coming out, Jace first pickup here. Forgot the feeling. A very powerful top lane. I would say number 2 top lane right now. We've seen Rengar do amazing work in that top lane, and he has been banned out. What do you get after that? You could go Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, I don't know, seems a little underwhelming. I wouldn't put him at number 2, maybe 3 or 4. But Jace, my god, Jace, the linchpin of so many strategies, the key needed member of so many things to come. He's going to be picked up first pick here. Forgot the feeling. That means we're going to grab ourselves a Malphite on our flip side with a Blitzcrank. Likely that support. You can do a Blitz jungle. At the same time, Blitz jungle not really that much in favor when you already have a Malphite, and as we see now, a Skarner coming out as well. Very likely that Skarner going to be in that jungle. Malphite top, Blitz support, and that would go excellently well with that Corki. Corki, I am a big fan of. Corki, just, have you ever seen Chaos from Team Solo Mid play a Corki? It is just a thing of beauty. So yeah, Corki coming out. Corki Blitz can afford a lot of damage, and again, we don't have that Ezreal to deal with, so we're not going to have any arcane shifts, which means that whoever they do go for their AD carry on Got the Feeling is going to have to be just wary of that, and now we have locked in that Graves. So Graves Nunu combination in that bottom lane for Got the Feeling. Not too sure if they're going to be able to deal with the Blitzcrank Corki. I mean, Blitzcrank gets that grab, pops you up. Corki with the bomb, the auto attacks later on, the big missiles, and the Gatling gun. That is some extreme burst. Now again, Taric, same idea. You just get off that stun shatter combination. Corki, he can just lay down the law. Like, he doesn't care if there's creeps between him and there. Machine gun will hit you. Phosphorus bomb will hit you. Later on, of course, level 6 will come into play, but he also has a Valkyrie to chase you if you are low enough, which means that we have to be very, very careful of the burst that's going to be coming out from Team Purple here. Who else do we have here on Got the Feeling? It looks like an Orianna mid. We just saw an Orianna mid a few minutes ago on the Week 5 NA replay, and that Orianna did damage. My god, did she ever do damage? And that means we're going to have to pick an according ult middle here, so that we can deal with her. And it does look like Zyra now locked in there for Boffin here on the Prophets team. So Zyra mid against that Orianna. This is exactly what we just saw in the Week 5 NA replay. And I gotta say, maybe it just came down to skill caps, but Orianna did some amazing work against that Zyra mid lane. She just could not answer the poke that came out of Orianna, plus the team fight potential with that shockwave. At the same time, they also had a Malphite on their team, so it kind of gave her a little bit of that uneven edge. But this round, Shyvana, we've seen this Team Curse. They love to run this Orianna-Shyvana combo. You put the ball on Shyvana, you Dragon Form in, you follow that up with the shockwave, and now let's look at the rest of the team. Jace, Graves, Nunu. So much potential burst and so much potential AoE damage coming out of that. It is kind of disgusting. Kind of disgusting. Alright, so summoner spell blockers are removed. You can now see their spells and take a quick look here. Again, we're looking at pretty much the same combinations. So 1 exhaust on both of those supports and then 3 ignites across the table per lane. So we have 1 ignite per lane, that exhaust on those supports, and then the jungle smite. We're not having anything cute here. We don't have any exhaust smites. We all have no teleports. There's no heals. It is pretty much, this seems to be the way that the meta is going. A lot of games these days are 3 ignites, that 1 exhaust. The exhaust, very useful for the counter jungler, very useful for when those engages happen in that bottom lane, because 2 on 2, if you just start getting jumped by the enemy AD carry, you need that exhaust to limit their damage output. At the same time, you could also use it if they're running away. Once again, Blitz, very good at catching up to opponents, has that overdrive, can get off that exhaust, the power fist, the knockup, no, the glove, knockup, whatever. You know, there's a lot of mobility in that lane. On the other side, Nunu, Blood Boil, very adept, getting in with that Ice Ball, getting out, consuming when he needs to keep his health up, and all those free Ice Balls that he gets every 5 attacks, free spell comes out of him, and the Blood Boil on Graves. If Graves can get himself into a decent enough situation to get a nice and early Zeal, even a Phantom Dancer, that Blood Boil is going to start ticking down. And that is not something you really want to deal with. Now, we have seen some fun things from Nunu in the past. At the same time, I'm just remembering a strategy here, Nunu, with Flash Promote. Yes, Promote. Promote was actually featured in a few tournaments. We've seen him in a few games in those higher tiers, and Promote is really just something of a push lane. Now, the key here, though, give it a Nunu as a support. Not only do you then have a Blood Boil for your AD during team fights, you can Blood Boil that promoted minion. Promoted minions with Blood Boil destroy towers. I think it was during one team fight we Blood Boiled a promoted minion, went straight for the inhibitor. The entire team fight is just wailing away on the inhibitor, brings it under half by itself before finally they were able to just repel the attack. Very powerful passive damage. At the same time, again, promoted minions are going to go straight for towers. Once they're in range, you cannot get it off of that tower, and a promoted catapult, especially early into the game, can start chunking down towers. It's a lot of free passive damage, but you do have to give out that summoner spell slot. Again, we're not seeing anything like that. It is all fairly standard here today, and we're going to get this going. Got the Feeling versus the Prophets here. Week 7 EU Alienware Arena. And guys, if you are out there and you are playing in the Alienware and you want to check out your opponents, this is the place to be. YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, FourCourtJester. Everything FourCourtJester. Alright, we are having the skin war come in. Nunu bot looking nice and steampunk. Bladecraft Oriana, not exactly my favorite skin, but Boom Boom Blitzcrank. I'm a big fan of the Piltover, I really am. We got the Earth Rider. Somebody actually pointed this out. If you run Fizz with Earth Rider Corki, you can potentially have double Earth comps. OP. OP, man. That's all I gotta say about that. At the same time, have you ever seen the Astro lane? Astronaut Nautilus, Astronaut Teemo. Yep. Get that supporter list ready to roll, and it is just a thing to see, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure that our... Alright, so, yep, okay, so my scoreboard is correct. Yay, I like it when it's correct. And that means we're off to the races, guys. So again, left-hand side, Got the Feeling. Going to be representing the blue side. And you can see right off the bat, boots and pots and boots and pots and boots and pots. They're going to go straight down into their own triangle bush, looking for that invade. Nunu going to be lagging behind a little bit. Nunu with that level 1 skill not yet placed. I was curious to see if he's going to do a Blood Boil or that Ice Ball. Would don't really see him seeing that consume unless they're going to go for that invade. But guys, flip side, Team Red, the Prophets, going to be here again. Boots and pots and boots, and even a Blitzcrank going for those boots. Boots 2 wards, so he started off, yeah, with a 515. Same with that Nunu, very typical stuff going down. 3 wards, 3 pots, Fairy Charms. We're noticing that there's no invade coming out quite yet from blue, but Team Red, these Prophets are really trying to make sure that nothing goes on. Now, I wanted to see a bit more aggression here from the Prophets. They have that Blitzcrank, after all. That is a very powerful level 1 initiator. Just grab someone from afar, burst them down, get out of dodge, and damage has been done. You got the first blood before the minions, but it does not look like they're going to try to capitalize on that. At the same time, we don't really have a hard CC. I mean, we have, like, Zyra, sir, she can glue someone down to the floor, but on the flip side, like, we don't really have that hard counter CC. So we grab someone with the blitz, you throw down just the slows, the damage, and the immobilize from Zyra. Could have been a very easy first level kill, but that being said, does look like it will be business as normal. We're looking for that Smiteless Leash, and I think Mad Martin's about to grab it. He is going to get that Smiteless Leash. So he gets off that blue, not a problem. Shyvana starting off red, also with a Smiteless Leash. So she's going to go straight over here to the Wolves, try to pick up level 3, then into the blue, whereas it's the same idea here, Mad Martin. He's just going to go grab his Wraiths and then straight to the red buff. Zam, boom, straight to the moon. So Graves Nunu down here. What did Nunu pick up? It will be that Ice Blast first. So gonna maybe try to go for a little bit of free harass. He does have the mana pendant, so indicating that he wants to hit that Philo Stone first. Again, Blitz does have boots. No indication of a gold pretend quite yet, but it is kind of important that we pick up those boots on Blitz, because Blitz with that overdrive and boots is going to have a huge movement modifier that Team Blue is just not going to have. Got the feeling, as you can see here, just have to just back off real early. Now that was a terrible blitz hook, but here we go. Mikkel going to go in, finding the Skarner at the red. Wow, a lot of damage going off. The fireballs, the burnout, and it will be the first blood. Once again, manaless junglers are something of a terror right now in terms of counter jungling. Very well timed on her part as well. Skarner could have easily went for red first with that smiteless, then gone over to blue, but they read out the situation. They said, alright, Skarner likely starting blue first. We saw no invade, nothing fancy went down, and he hasn't invaded my bush because we do have this ward here and we got this ward here. So he didn't go red to blue for a gank, he didn't go blue for a gank, and this is going to be huge because there we go, that refresh red buff on Mikkel is going to be denying Skarner a lot of that map presence that you really need in that opener. I mean, once he goes in with that crystalline exoskeleton and the slashes, it's just, you know, it's comforting to know that he can make something happen. Fortunately, Blitzcrank still not making something happen. Oh, this could be bad. Qt going to get dived upon. There's that exhaust, and Zeta ADL with that Ice Blast able to take down that Corki. See, when Blitz is a support and he cannot... Oops. What? Zyra... Wow, that was such a long-range kill on Zyra. I was assuming that she was going to get out of that one. My apologies, good sirs and ladies of the chat. But Sir Gaga, he's going to get... you know, just chased out of this lane. But once again, Skarner without that red is going to be a big loss here for the Prophets. Not going to be good. Anyways, back to the point. Blitzcrank, this bottom lane. If you can't make these grabs happen, it's not going to be a very good lane for you. Not only do you not have any sustain, you now have this gigantic robot that is good for nothing except body blocking. Even then, that Valkyrie coming out a little bit too late on Corki, he did drop fairly quickly, and that puts us up 3-0 at a 5-minute mark for Got the Feeling. Got the Feeling doing some really good work here this early game. Now, they are almost about 2,000 gold up. Mikkel, you know, really ahead here in the jungle, has been part of a kill, has taken the first blood, has 25 creeps to the 19 of Skarner, plus the big creep, 1850 to 1200, not even. That is a pretty big difference this early on, and that's something that we're going to have to try to capitalize here for Shyvana. Now Shyvana, she's opting to get that razor. It's not the blood razor, but Madred's razor. And she's likely going to be transferring that into a Wriggles. It's a free ward, it's great sustain, it gives you a little bit of extra armor as well. And if you think about it, Corki, physical damage. Blitz, physical damage. I mean, that's going to be great for that bottom lane. I want to say Skarner physical, but, you know, it's just auto attacks. Auto attacks are pretty key late into the game, but I suspect that Skarner's going to go more tanky anyways. Skarner now with those boots of mobility, not opting to get any gold pretends. Actually, neither did the Shyvana. So maybe we're going to be trying to come back from this and win in an early game capacity, but it's going to be a hard press. At a 3-0 and looking fairly good on all counts. Speaking of all counts, there we go. Need to actually line these guys up because I'm bad. Bam. There we go. Speaking of all counts, yeah, this bottom lane, Graves, 51 with that assist. 41 creeps to Q-Tick because he did die. Not so good so far. Blue team, bottom lane, AD carries doing really good. Boffin going level 6 on top of this Zyra. Zyra taking a lot of damage. Oh, but Mad Martin is going to get spotted out here by Mikkel again. No kill going down that time, but we are taming out this blue. The blue did have fairly regular timing, so it should be coming up within 10 seconds. It did die about the 2-minute mark. You add about 5 minutes. We are waiting for it. There it is, 7:15 right on the dot. Oh, what a great pull onto this Graves. This could be exactly the turnaround we need because the supports are back, not here, but now this is going to be actually really bad for the Profits because they're going in so deep. They're going for the kill. They're not going to get the kill on Graves. Wow, we flash in. We have to flash in. Jode Farm able to take that, but if you're watching that minimap, you saw got the feeling coming down from that blue. I mean, they just left it for Orianna to pick up, and man, they did not need to chase Graves that long. Yes, they got the kill, but they wasted all their summoners for it. 1, 2, 3, 4 summoners down. They both pay for it with their lives. And now Boffin in this mid. Zyra gonna get bullied out by this Orianna with her own blue buff. The speed up going off. Looking for that kill on top of Boffin. Oh, so close. 25 hit points. 19 hit points. The auto attack was enough. Should not have turned around. And Zyra just gonna fire off that passive death animation. 6-1 right now. Got the feeling looking extremely strong. At 8 minutes in, we're almost a kill a minute. We've counter jungled the red. We've counter jungled the blue. Orianna sitting with her own, with the enemy blue. Our own is now just sitting there. We're going once again for the red on this Shyvana. Just so far ahead. That is the only way to describe this. Got the feeling looking so far ahead. Nunu with the blood boil going down in this bottom lane. Graves, I mean, Graves did die. It was a lot of aggression, but he comes back with the double Dorans as well as the Vamp, so very safe opener. Nothing crazy coming out of him. Without that sustained support, he needs as much lifesteal as he can get and every last hit that he can muster. Q-Tick at the same time, only with a single Doran Blade, is a little starved compared to his opponents. And that is because he has now died twice and has not landed a single kill. Again, Jode Farm, that Blitzcrank had to flash in Power Fist because that Ignite was not going to do the job. His last tick just left him within that auto attack range, and that is why we had to use it. Orianna again, just really doing a lot of damage here to Boffin. And again, this is what we were looking at last game, that week 5 NA replay. Zyra versus Orianna. Orianna took a huge lead there as well. We're up 2 kills to the 2 deaths of Zyra, although the creeps are much more even than they were in the North American game. Either way, still farming up a storm. 75 creeps to Orianna, 73 to Graves, and 67 to Jace as Jace deals out a good chunk of Malphite hit points right there. Blitz missing that pull once again. I'm not too sure he's actually landed any pulls except for that one, which did net them the kill. I will give them that, but they had to spend so much on it. Now, while they do have mid pushed back and the bottom now pretty much controlled, we're not going to go for that jungle and getting it at the 10-minute, 24-second mark. We should see the next one around 16. We didn't even have any vision on that. Now, as you can see here, we do got that Oracles now on Mikkel doing a lot of warding. We do not have any kind of Oracles because we just do not have the money coming out for the Profits. I mean, Mad Martin, this Skarner, has been counter jungled very, very heavily. He's much behind. Boffin going to go down. Validity going down. We get the kill on top of this Blitz to boot. A nice 2-for-1. Oh, wow. Boffin didn't go down. Boffin with the blue, 60 hit points. Ah! Alright, well, I take that back. 1-for-1. I really expected Boffin to go down. We have the Ignite right here on Orianna. I really expected that to go down. Take him down with her. Wow. Alright, a little bit of a misplay right there. Validity not able to grab that kill mid, but it's okay. We got the Blitz on the 3 versus 1 by the blue. And this is going to leave Corki again a little bit more on the back foot. If he gets initiated upon, it could be over. And you can see his CS really starting to suffer. Now, 75 creeps to the 95 of Graves. Again, up top, just across the board, the farm is going into Got the Feeling's favor. This blue team doing really good work. You know, we're at the 12-minute mark. We're almost hitting that 100 creeps now for Graves. Graves going back to town. Is he going to get that BF? He is. He's going to be able to get that BF sword. Not a problem. Now, he does have a fairly substantial creep lead over top of everyone else, despite even getting all these Wraiths and Wolves in this mid. Sir Gaga going up, again chunking down this Malphite. Malphite not going down quite yet. He does have that gold per 10 in terms of the heart of gold, but he also has that health regen, and that's something you really need in these top lanes. It seems more and more top laners going for health regen first. Now, what did we get for Jace? Jace not going for gold per 10. Jace actually, that's not Jace. There's Jace. Jace actually going for a Brutalizer. I mean, he's 0-0, but he is 15 creeps up over his competition. He went for the Brutalizer first, and I do like this. Everybody, every lane, I shouldn't say everyone, every lane on Got the Feeling has wards, which means every lane is warded. Now, again, we killed off this buff around the 7.5 minute mark. Add 5 minutes. We got the timing done here. Good, but it does look like Prophet's figuring it out. Yes, they're going to be counter jungling. Yes, we are going to be ready for them. They take down the 1 kill. Boffin is the target for the second, but Mikkel with that dragon form, just not enough DPS. Mad Martin with the flash and the impale, looking for a little bit of revenge on top of this dragon. Will be able to grab that, and the kill, the double kill, going to Q-Tick. That is going to be huge for Prophet. That is exactly something they needed to get back into this game. Zyra able to finally secure her own blue. Must feel good, man. Must feel good to have your own blue. Orianna not able to steal it around this time. So, they figured this out. They timed it out. They said, all right, 5 minutes from now, they're going to come right back here. We can assume it's warded. Let's set a trap. Bottom lane came up. Stepped up to the plate. Got themselves 2 kills. And that is something that Corki desperately, desperately needed. With those 2 kills in his pocket, he does have that Phage first, so going for that Trinity. 4,200 to the 4,900, not nearly as big a gold difference as it used to be. And Boffin as well, going to be heading back. He does have that Cage's lucky pick. Can he get the Deathfire? No, but he can get the Blasting Wand. Almost as good. Now you can see again, wards and wards and wards and wards. Got the feeling they want this map control. Look at this. I'm pausing the game. Look at this. Ward, 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 ward. So many wards in this game right now. It is really good to see this kind of map control and map insight coming out from Got the Feeling, because they're going to know exactly where that Skarner is. They're going to know when that blue, when that red is there, and they're going to be able to counter it. Shyvana, she helps Orianna get that blue. We have the pings go down. Q-Tum is going back to town. They see him going. He's not going to be going back to town anytime soon. Mikkel going to get off that firewall, but Jace a little bit too far behind is going to be able to chunk him down a little bit, but here comes Skarner. Skarner with that impale. Up in 5 seconds. He's thinking really good things. But again, that red buff has been a contested buff this entire game. It's not going to be changing now. Mikkel going to be coming in here. Skarner knows it. He has to back off. And here comes his support. Q-Tum going to come down from the top. Zyra coming up from the mid. They are going to be finding this Jace. Jace with the ball onto Mad Martin. That shock blast. Going to go in. Trying to take down the Scorpion. But the Zyra ultimate is huge. Does not actually grab anyone though. Validity in here. Double kill flashing from that Baron. Sir Gaga going for the kill on top of Q-Tum. They're going to come down right to the wire. But I don't think Gaga's going to get it. No, Q-Tum with 103 armor, able to grab some revenge on top of this Jace. But once again, counter jungling is the key that we're seeing more and more and more of. Wow, Blitz can actually see that ward. That tower, OP. In fact, tower should have gone down. That was something that Gregerson here really needed to actually do before he put down that ward. Well, actually, I guess it was Zeta put down the ward, but they try to put down that ward for that lane information, that lane presence. Is Jode going to go for the pull? He does see these guys. The intense anticipation is killing me. Oh, I thought he might have had a good shot right there on top of that Graves, but Graves would have just dashed back out. You really needed to grab that Nunu to make him waste that flash. But they played it cool. They played it sweet. They played it cool. Now we do got some of these wards going down. 16.5 is about when that dragon was popping. We're 16:46 going for the pull. Not going to grab anyone. And this is not good because we got 12 seconds left on that cooldown. Oh my goodness. Zyra going down in this mid. Validity able to take him down. The rest of the team goes to contest that dragon. Zeta with the flash. The ultimate Q-Tick not getting over with that exhaust. He goes down. Mad Martin is going to be running for his life. I don't know where he's running to, but it's between a tower and 2 enemies. And he's going to be running for it. Zeta actually gets picked off. Gragson. Gergerson. Mad Martin, is he going to be able to... Wow, the Scorpion is going to live. They gave up pursuit on the Scorpion. They said, alright, well, screw the Scorpion. We're going to get the Dragon. Zeta went down. What a contest across the board. 2-for-1 exchange, but got the feeling, able to pick up that Dragon. We'll see the next one around the 23-minute mark. Action, action, action. 11 kills in 17 minutes. We're falling behind a little bit in that kill per minute category, but we're able to now clean up 2 towers. We got that bottom, we did the dragon, we got the mid. That's a lot of global gold now to the team, and you can see the difference between the 2 teams, about 6,000 gold. That's pretty good. 6,000 gold 18 minutes in, that's pretty sweet. Gotta say that. Let's take a quick look at items across the board. Nunu, that support, double gold per 10, going for that quick Shurelios maybe instead of his boots. He does have that Kindle Gem. The cooldowns will be very nice for him, but we do got the Bloodthirster Zeal before 20 minutes on Graves. Graves at a 213, 160 creeps. Very impressive show from him. Actually, no real items coming out from Gaga. He does get the Merc Treads, however, so he will be fairly tanky up against this Malphite. That's okay, Malphite's fairly tanky up against him. But Validity, this Orianna, making the plays happen. 4-1-1, 160 creeps, decimating her opponents. Has only died once to that gank, but was able to get the first blood out of it. Has that Athene's Unholy Chalice. Or Unholy Grail. I think it's Grail, yeah. Athene's Unholy Grail. Again, what did I say about this counter jungling? Counter jungling is the key. Now, if we had a shockwave right there, actually we did. She used the shockwave. She used the shockwave, but it only really seems to hit Q-Tick and Boffin. But no, okay, we know that it's down. Skarner going to go in. Graves has to dash on out. Here goes the Blitz. The silence came down from him already. Gragson going to be going down. Oh, the Zeta ultimate is going to hit 2 of the members, but it's not going to stop this double kill coming out from Profits. All 5 members of Profits were part of that gank. And again, they seem to be reading out Got the Feeling now. They're saying, alright, every buff is going to be contested. We need to lay these traps. And that's twice now they've able to turn that trap in on Got the Feeling. Got the Feeling starting to maybe feel a little bit shaky about that. But it's not all for naught, because Jace up top was able to grab that tower. That's a 3-tower advantage over their opponents. Now, they weren't able to steal the blue, because if you check out Malphite, there he is. If you check out Malphite, he does have that blue. It is fairly new, so they were able to take down their own blue. Jace going to get a little bit of pressure here from the Skarner, but is able to just golf swing into his face. Skarner went flying like a golf ball. Q-Tick able to just push down this bottom lane fairly contentedly. Is going to get the first tower for the Profits. Uses that Valkyrie to get on out dodge, but he will be safe at this point. Now, we were talking about wards on Team Blue. They've all kind of faded at this point. We still have wards on their inventories, but look at the ward coverage now from Profits. Ward, I'm pausing again. Ward, here, 2 here, 1 at their own blue, and they're looking for that Tribush. So again, ward coverage showing its immense value in this game. We had a lot of wards coming out from Got the Feeling. They were able to do a lot in terms of counter jungling because of that. But now with all the wards here on Profit, they're able to see those traps coming in, and they're able to set up the counters, the ambushes. It's keeping them in this game. What did I say about a 6,000 gold lead? I don't know, because I only see 3 at this point. That is what they have done. They are doing work. They're reducing their debt, trying to bring things back to parity. And at 11-9, I think they've done a very good job of it. So Got the Feeling, I don't know. If this was their whole early game, trying to just win by the 20-minute mark, I gotta say, Profits have responded extremely well, but with these ambushes. And, you know, you might abandon your lane, you might lose that tower, but with that gold, you're able to just stay in here. And again, if we can get more and more of these team fights off, more and more of these ambushes, There we go. Global vision re-enabled. It's just going to start tilting more and more towards the Prophet's favor. Now we looked at the items there on Team Blue, and that is everyone's just going to mill about a little bit. We do got that Trinity now on Corgi. He has bounced back very nicely. 2 kills, 4 assists, 155 creeps. Again, we're getting vastly out creeped by Got the Feeling, but 155 is it's respectable. It's not 200, but it's respectable. That's alright. Yeah, Skarner has that double gold per 10 after getting shut down so hard. Already has that Aegis. He's come back very nicely. Blitz, double gold per 10. Again, looking to maybe get that Glacial next. He does have a little bit of armor. I don't foresee a double Aegis coming out, but it does look like he's going to be very tanky. Now, Malphite, that top lane, I mean, 125 creeps. He is pretty much on parity with that Jace in terms of the lane, but with 4 kills and 1 assist, this Malphite has gone far and above what Jace was able to do. And now we do have the double gold per 10 there, as well as the Sunfire. So he's doing some amazing work up top. And I really don't think we're going to get any kind of kill from Sir Gaga on top of Q-Tim here. Now that leaves us with Zyra. Zyra mid, doing okay, is dying quite a bit. But 2-4-1 for her, does have that Deathfire, and now the Needlessly Large with the double Dorans. So she is looking for that Rabadons. It is going to come a little bit late. Again, she is a little starved, 172 creeps, and a 4 death count to her name. But with that Deathfire, I mean, she got the Deathfire. It's going to be huge in these team fights. Just burst down someone with that Blitz, with that Corki, and once again, 23 minutes is coming around. That blue buff and that Dragon, I think it's that Dragon. Dragon should be about the 23-minute mark, and we have all these timed out. Both these teams tracking all these objectives very, very efficiently. You see Malphite coming down from top. All 5 members of Got the Feeling are able to take this Dragon pretty much uncontested. That might have been a little bit of a misslip on Malphite. Okay, as it did look like majority of the team of the Prophets were there. They wanted to try to engage that. They wanted to try to contest that. But, you know, didn't happen. Malphite just didn't have it happen. Malphite was just too far out of position. 4 on 5, something you don't really want to enter in at this crucial part of the game. This could be the first red buff that Skarner actually grabs. It was warded. We saw that Skarner was able to grab that Zeta here. However, with that Oracles, it's starting to do a little bit of counter warding, and this could be I think this is the second Oracles that they've now picked up for Got the Feeling. Again, blue buff coming up. It's warded. It's timed. Validity able to pick that up. So we weren't able to take away the red, but we were able to take away the blue. I don't know, Got the Feeling they're kind of just looking for some kind of opportunity. I mean, they're very wary at this point. Those ambushes, you know, for those last 2 buffs were not exactly going to plan. It's nothing that they really wanted. So now they're a little bit more cautious about just doing this full out invades, because there might be a full party of Prophets ready to go and hit them. Alright, we got a 5-man push. Skarner going in with the flash impale. There's that Malphite ultimate. Zyra not going to be throwing down hers, but Validity is still alive somehow. The flash goes in, the Zyra ultimate goes off, but going to be a quick 2 kills here for the Prophets. Okay, well, they're going to take their win and they're going to run with it. 25 minutes in, evening out the scores. That was a great flash impale from Skarner. That flash impale, but did you see how Orianna survived? You know, she has a lot of magic resist to her name. Orianna, 137 magic resist, was able to withstand quite a bit of damage from both Malphite as well as Zyra. And, you know, Corki, he does have that Trinity. He also has that BF star. I'm just a little curious as to how they didn't chunk her down faster. Only 85 armor. But the Orianna shield came out. Command protect. How much does it protect for? 300. There you go. That shield kept her alive for so long had to actually burn out another flash from the Prophets in order to grab that kill. And that's actually, we've seen that twice now. In that bottom lane, we thought we had an ignite on top of Graves, but Graves was going to live out. So instead of going down 2-0, flash in with that blitz uppercut, going for a 2-1. Now again, Prophets have bounded back very nicely. They're still 4,000 gold under. You could chalk that up to a lot of global as well as that objective control. But Prophets are now starting to take more command of their own jungle. That dragon did die around the 24-minute mark. We should see the next one in and about the 30, and you can bet your hat that these teams have all these buffs controlled. Skarner with that Oracle's a little bit of cash infusion. Shyvana didn't have hers because she had already died, but we still have the Oracles on Nunu, so you can see a little bit of a ward battle going on here. Doesn't look like anybody really wants to give up the chance at a Baron. Now we do got pings going down on top of it. 27 minutes in, it's about a good time to look into a Baron. But with that Oracles, we're going to see, yes, there is a pink ward in the background. So it is not going to be a blind. Oh my goodness, if that Blitz hook had actually hit, might have been a very different story. But we got lots of wards going down, lots of invades, lots of pressure. We don't have Zyra here, but I don't think Got the Feeling knows that. Prophets now all together. Alright, they're gonna say, you can take Baron, that's cool. We'll just meet you there after we chunk down your tower. And tower goes down virtually for free, but Miguel, he wants to go in on this. Dragon forms back on out, and you can see big damage going down on top of both him as well as Zeta. Zeta's taking a lot of damage from these creeps. Does get off that Empire. Graves able to take down that Blitz. Skarner had already dropped. Nunu is going to be with the return kill. Jace not looking so good, but Validity coming in. Able to help grab those kills, but the exchange coming out 3 for 4. Wow. Malphite, not exactly healthy. Has himself that passive. Yip-de-doo. But Validity and Mikkel was the one that initiated that. Jumped in there, took a beating, Dragon formed out. Zeta came absolutely close to dying before he got that ultimate off. But the ultimate, I don't actually think hit anybody. It was more of a panic ult at that point. But Validity, excellent positioning, didn't take really any kind of damage to the midway of that fight. Able to pick up that double. Slightly coming out ahead. This blue team. Oh, Shirelia's being popped. Malphite gonna go for the kill on top of Miguel. Miguel trying to avoid it. There's the slow. Is gonna avoid the hook. And now the burnout. No, it's gonna be the Hellfight ultimate. Damn, that came up quick. Miguel does drop. I like how Blitz just left it to him and said, alright, I need this kill. And Malphite, again, sole survivor of all these team fights. Frozen Heart, Sunfire Cape, double gold per 10, and now a little bit of magic resist Negatron Cloak. Probably going to go for that Abyssal. He is looking absolutely monstrous. 6-0-4. Now with that kill on top of Miguel, it is going to be a 5v4 engage if Got the Feeling is going to get up here. Baron dropping under half. The Shockwave Impulse landing a lot of damage here on Martin. There's the Shockwave. And it will be dropping that Skarner. But Jace did drop to the early pressure. We do got Gragasan here doing some amazing dancing. The shutdown streak comes out from Orianna. Malphite finally down. Validity with the big burst on top of Boppin. What amazing DPS burst right there. And it is going to be 2 getting out with their lives. Unfortunately, during all that fight, Baron did regen back to full. 18-16. Man, did you see that Graves dancing though? Graves, in the middle of everything. Stutter step, life healing. He does have that Quicksilver. Quicksilver is down. Probably the only reason he was able to live out of that. But, my god, what a big step up there from Graves. 5-3-7, able to finally shut down that Malphite. Corki finds Graves in the jungle, decides, nope, not worth it. Valkyrie's on out. We keep pushing this top lane tower under a half health. If we're able to get that, it will be a 5-3 tower exchange. So now we've seen both teams going for Baron, or at least we've seen 2 fights at the Baron. Both teams very interested in not giving up this objective, so much so that we've kind of forgotten about all the other objectives. We have a red buff, sorry, had a red buff in this top. Corky now has it. See, nice and new. We have this blue buff spawned down here. Graves going for his own red. Nobody cares about the dragon right now. It's all focused. We are tunnel visioning this Baron. Because Baron gives out that buff, and that buff this late into the game at 32 minutes, especially with team fights going as even as they are back and forth, that Baron buff could be a huge tilt. Huge. Gergerson, I'm gonna call him Gergerson, solos out that dragon fairly easily. Has himself that pickaxe, probably gonna go for either the Last Whisper or an Infinity. Actually, I'd like to see him get both. He has that Bloodthirster, which he uses to great degree, but again, Oracle Wars coming out, lots of people. Zeta with the Oracles this time. They're going to go for this Baron. Baron dropping extremely low. They're able to pick up that kill. Pretty uncontested. Yeah, they saw that nobody was there. Mikkel dragon farming, and that shockwave, so much burst damage. The Gergerson with the collateral damage, able to pick up that double. Mikkel able to finish off for the third, and now it's going to be actually turned on the tables a little bit. We both had Gergerson and Gaga dropping, but the hit points just too much for Got the Feeling. They're able to pick up that kill, 5 for 2. Again, with kills going so evenly between both teams. Just seeing that Baron buff right there was huge, and engaging on that was probably the right decision. As you can see, an ace emerging out of it. Top tower is going to be fodder. This mid inhibitor and tower going to be fodder. This is going to start pulling out really far ahead. Now Forgot the Feeling. Can they go for the win? No. People coming back alive within 2 seconds. But my god, Blitz Zyra dying at the exact same time. This is why putting your ball on Shyvana is just amazing. You throw the ball on Shyvana, she Dragon Force, and immediately, Shockwave. And just the burst damage. So powerful. 520 ability power. Also a Quicksilver Sash now on Orianna. Does not want to get caught out whatsoever. But with another needlessly large, you know she's going to go for that Zhonya's. Zhonya's, Rabadons, Athene's. Athene's 90 ability power. Such a ridiculous amount of ability power on that item. Now we've also seen the first 2 deaths come out from Malphite. Malphite did end up getting that Abyssal, also with the Frozen Heart. So a fairly standard Malphite comp, but they just can't seem to really back up his abilities with really any kind of follow-up. Like, he keeps going in. They've gotten a few of the kills. They've gotten some Strago kills, but in team fights, this Malphite just does not seem to be delivering that CC that he really needs to. It's not entirely his fault. The rest of his team is usually dead by the time it comes down to him. For example, we just had that quick instant double kill on that Orianna Shockwave. It was pretty ridiculous. And there's that Zhonya's. Wow, Orianna so far ahead in farm. Let's take a quick look. 14,000 gold, absolutely blowing everyone out of the water except Graves. Graves actually right there with her neck and neck. 289 creeps, 278. Lots of cash bonus, and a pretty close to a 10,000 gold lead has emerged. 35 minutes, 10,000 gold, pretty decent way to go. This tower melts under the Baron pressure. Doesn't matter that we're missing 2 people with Baron. Does not matter whatsoever. Not the person you wanted to drag in there, Malphite, or Blitzcrank, says there goes the dragon form. Here goes Q-Dim. He's trying to use that Malphite ultimate, but the Zyra ult's going to come out as well. Zeta virtually takes no damage out of it, and down goes that Malphite. Down goes that Blitz, but we are able to actually pick up Gergerson. Validity dominating this. Mad Martin not going to have a chance. Double kill coming out. Sir Gaga, skin of his teeth. The flash comes out from Validity for the triple. And that is going to be yet again a team fight dominance. Got the Feeling doing extremely well in this fight. 27-19. That's the second inhib down. The only person up left is Jode Farm. Wow. Jode Farm trying to do his best to defend. We get that ace. Tower down. They're getting chunked. Pretty extreme. And that means this Nexus at a 36-minute, 35-second win, ladies and gentlemen. Got the feeling. 28-19. 15,000 gold difference. Pretty snowbally, if you gotta ask me. Again, keys here. They got ahead early with counter jungling. Skarner, first blood, loses blue, loses red, cannot do anything. Blue buff, exchange, goes to Orianna. Then Prophets started doing more of the ambushing, which actually prolonged the game, gave them that shot that they needed, but time and time again, just such even kills, and then the Baron just able to seal the game. Very impressive stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Very well deserved here on Team Blue. And that means that Alienware Week 7 EU is going to be done for the day. Just take a quick look at that score. A little bit of music in the background. My God, just very powerful team fights. Very good synergy. 12-3 Orianna. 12-3. Guys, if you see Orianna, do not pick Zyra. That is what I've learned today. 2 separate games, 2 separate dominations from Orianna. It's just Zyra. If you're going to pick Zyra, maybe support Zyra. But Zyra cannot deal with that mid. My God. Alright. Week 7 now done. FourCourtJester.